Hello there. How you guys doing? Hope you're all having a good Wednesday. Yes, the poll is no longer active. I need to change that command. I changed, like, it was just at the end of yesterday's stream that we ended the poll. And I was busy yesterday. Yeah, I'm feeling better today. Not coughing quite as much, but it's a work in progress. I'll get there. Might take another like week or so till I feel like 100% healthy again, but as I said, I'll get there. Not too worried about it. So, there, save. Now the poll command should be working again. As in, it should be accurate again. There. So, got that. Yes, I need to be able to do absolutely everything. Obviously. Sometimes I do wonder how people manage to run like really like intricate systems without like having like an editor or something. Because yeah, like keeping on track, well, keeping track of all the different like things when you're doing a big event and stuff. I don't fully know how people do that unless they like have help regarding the just keeping track of all the things. Because yeah, like if you think of traditional media, you're putting like at least 10 jobs or so all on one person when you're a streamer. So it can get a bit busy and sometimes a bit chaotic. So yeah. I just yeah. I just do things as well as I can, which sometimes isn't 100% on time, but I fix it eventually. So, good enough in my opinion. But, yeah, not going to be perfect. As you can see. Like, I could have already started a new poll. I just completely forgot about it. So, you know, I'll get around to it. I'll maybe try and do that next weekend. I think I'll actually have a calm weekend for once. Because hopefully I don't manage to catch another cold in the meantime. Because I've already got plenty with this one. Don't need another one. I've already caught like two like separate illnesses this winter. I don't need a third one. So, yeah, I'm hoping for a really nice calm weekend because that would be lovely. I've been too busy. Well, first with like actually being physically busy and now with busy being sick. So, yes, exactly. It feels a bit like I'm catching like respiratory illnesses like Pokemon this winter season. So yeah, I hope I can stop with that now. I already got enough of those. I don't need one per month. Or even like well, less than a month per illness. So yeah. That's plenty, thanks. Um but anyway, uh yeah, it is a lot of stuff happening that you all have to juggle. Like, for example, if you're also your own artist as a streamer, that's a whole another job on top of everything else. So, you're like running like camera, social media, like audio, um, you're the art department, you're the prop department, you're the makeup department, you're the hair department. So it's a pretty long list of all the jobs you kind of have as a streamer. So, yeah, sometimes things do fall through the cracks because, like, for example, stuff like keeping track of whether or not your microphone is muted. Yeah, you are multitasking on so many things all at once, so it is difficult to always get it perfect. But, yeah, you know, it's a practice thing, but you also have to be okay with not always getting it 100% right. So, you know, You live and you learn. Anyway, let's actually start on Ultima 6 for today. I've been hearing that apparently subscription prices, sub prices for Twitch are going to change in some countries. So, might be relevant to some of you. Yeah, I think making an entire game all by yourself is somewhat comparable to streaming. Like, obviously, it's a different end product, but as I was saying, like, if you do everything regarding streaming yourself, you have to fill a lot of similar categories. So, and there are even people who do some amount of game development for their streams. So, like, people having games during their BRB screen and stuff like that. So, I feel like there's quite a bit of overlap in the, like, just needing to juggle everything. So, yeah. But I guess streaming is... like, it has the additional aspect of also, like, being part of the main content yourself. Like, unless you're making an FMV game, you're not necessarily going to be, like, physically part of the content. But, yeah. I mean, obviously there are streamers who stream without, like, camera or microphone, but a few of them get that far because it's a very personality-driven industry. So, I have absolutely no clue where we are. I'll just have to find out. Right, last time we had Blaine join the group. So. You did shopping and you did laundry. Nice. Yeah, I've been running a bit late on a lot of that stuff. Like, I haven't really been cooking stuff from scratch as much, because busy. And I may be running late on some household-related tasks. But, you know, it happens. I'll catch back up again. At least I'm starting to feel more energetic again, so... I'm optimistic that I'll catch up. Okay, I think we're at the Lyceum. By the looks of it. Yeah. I think that's the Lyceum. Yeah, there's the library part. So, Lyceum it is. And there's the part of the silver tablet. Can't remember what the place below this castle is supposed to be for, but we'll find out eventually. So, let's check the list. Alright, so we still need to figure out the... a clue for the last map piece. Still need to go to Death Star Dungeon, Dungeon of Shame, Shipwreck, and the wrong dungeon. So... question is, where do I start? We could try some dungeons. Okay, everyone has swamp boots. My cough is acting up. I'll do my best to mute myself every single time, but yeah. If I suddenly stop talking and start coughing, that would be why that's, yeah, happening. It's a very pesky cold. Yeah, it's annoying, but I don't want to let it keep me from streaming, because I really enjoy streaming. So, yeah. And since I feel like I have the energy to do stuff, I just need to, you know, sometimes cough for a bit. It happens. Yeah, I'm thinking we should, probably get ready to do the dungeons. I think buying spells would probably help a lot. I don't know how many spells I've got at this point. Okay, we do have Chain Bolt and Kill. So those could help. Let's see. Which healing spell do we have? Do we have the stronger one? Yeah, we do have Great Heal. Okay. I guess we could just try with these spells, because they should already help a bit. Okay. We've got 3 map pieces now. Wait, which are those? Oh, it's Hawknose, who went to the Dryland, who died on the Anthill. We got the one from the guy in Trinsic, who just wanted us to keep a secret. And we got the one from the Locket. That got stolen. By basically just pickpocketing it back from the people who stole the Locket. Yeah. I'm sure there's plenty of useful spells, but I'll just try and use the ones I've already got. Because in general, lots of the time, when I play games like these, I figure out some kind of random, but weirdly useful solutions. So, sometimes not having the most ideal spell is even a good thing. There. Like how there was a certain game where, there was a specific spell that was supposed to, like, summon a ghost wolf to attack a target. And, I figured out that you can also use that spell against flying targets. You just send a flying ghost wolf. So, yeah. And it was lots of fun. So yeah, would recommend sometimes going just based on what sounds fun, not based on what, like, a walkthrough would tell you to do. So, but yeah, I think we might want to do some amount of combat to level Blaine up. Because, I mean, I guess we could do that in an actual dungeon. Let's give him some food, though. So let's move that. Let's move 4 of those to Blaine. There. The other ones do still have some amount of food, I think. Sometimes a bit of an inconsistent amount, but that's okay. I mean, as long as they have some amount, good enough. because it should mean that we'll be able to rest if we need it. So, speaking of resting, I think it's just Sherry who needs some healing, but still better to be safe before we go off and try and enter a dungeon. Okay, there. Talk to Lord British. And we want healing. Okay. I'll rearrange stuff on my desk again, because once again, it's arrow keys and mouse. Which is always a great combination. I guess to an extent I can also just not use the mouse when I don't need it. But yeah, we'll see. So, Destard Dungeon, that's the one near Trinsic. Where's the Dungeon of Shame? That should be near Trinsic as well. Potentially. Right, Destard, which one is that related to? Valor. Fine. So that one might be near Jellum, actually. And the wrong dungeon, that would be near the town of Yew, potentially. Because that's the town that's related to that one. So, I'll look up my map for Ultima 4 again. Because I am very well prepared. I never ever forget to pull up all the relevant pictures. Let's see, where was it? There. So, the wrong dungeon, that one is mainly in the north, by the looks of it. So I'll just go by its previous location and see if it's still there, basically. But I'll also have to pull up the cloth map for this game, because I'm sure that's going to come in very handy soon, since I'll try and, well, navigate through this area. Because it tends to be pretty difficult to navigate. So, just trying to figure out where the old map and the new map line up regarding where the wrong dungeon is. It looks like it might be in a spot that's only accessible by ship. Yes, I have one of those. Had it for a while already, but for most of the time I didn't really know how to use it, because I didn't know how to read the numbers on the world map. But I've gotten better at that now. Yeah, I could crochet a version of the cloth map. That would not take a very long time at all. So, I think we still have the ship. Don't know why I want to try that specific dungeon, I just do. Alright. Definitely going to need the map for this, though. So the spot where we want to end up is... That'll be... I think it was in Steps of 10, wasn't it? I think so. So that would be 10... That's like 25? And that would be 25 east And it would be about 14 hours? Something like that. We'll see if it works out. I'm still slowly actually getting into knitting. Haven't really crocheted in quite some time. But, yeah. Like, I've seen fancy patterns for socks and stuff. Like, there's someone out there who designed a pattern for 4 different pairs of Stardew Valley socks based on the different seasons. And they're adorable. So, kind of curious to get into that. Because it just sounds fun. And you know, why not? Like, if any of you are interested, I'm sure you can find it. Just, like, Google Stardew Valley, like, sock pattern or something. But, yeah. They just seem really nice. Are we even moving? I think we are. We'll get there eventually. Sailing just takes so long in this game. Okay. Was that a building? Looks like it. I'm guessing that this is the island that also has the Lyceum. I was saying earlier that my cough wasn't acting up to that much today, but apparently not. Alright. At the edge of the world again. But yeah, in general, for keeping spiders out, I'd just recommend getting mosquito nets. They work decently well. And that way, the spiders also don't have a food source indoors. Not much of a reason for them to even try to get indoors in the first place, and if they do get indoors, well, they'll notice that that's not a good place to catch things. Yeah, like, this country has a lot of spiders, but since having mosquito nets, there haven't been nearly as many indoors. And the thing is, I mainly want to keep all the insects out. Especially mosquitoes, because... oh boy. I don't want to be eaten alive, thanks. So yeah, with that change, spiders don't really live in here as much anymore. But that's okay. Because that way you don't have to worry as much about, like, squishing them by accident. Like, one time I found a spider, like, on a hand towel. A hand towel that was, like, in use. So, I'm really glad I found that one. Or, like, in a roll of wrapping paper. They sometimes hide in the silliest spots. So... who is holding the sextant? You are. Perfect. So we're 45 north. And 72 east. Oh, we wanted like 25 east. So we'll just keep going. How about now? Nope, still a way to go. Yeah, I tend also to be a fairly big proponent of storing dry ingredients in jars and stuff to just keep the insect population indoors down. Because, yeah. Once you've had some certain pests, you, would prefer never to have those again. So yeah, I do hope never to have to deal with an ant problem, but, you know, it's always possible. Like, as long as you don't live in, like, a super tall high-rise, odds are ants can reach there, so... yeah. Ah. Dang it! I need to restore. Alright. Should have saved. Yeah, with fruit, I mean, obviously, depending on where you live, in some cases you might be able to even, like, store it in a place that's kind of separate. Like, some people have luck with storing it in a cellar, I think. But, yeah, depends on your situation, of course. But I've also heard of people having issues with, when they store stuff like fruit in a cellar, that they then, have mice problems. So... so, like, if you're storing a fruit, like, long-term, not just your weekly groceries. Because your weekly groceries tend not to be the ones that have ant issues. So, yeah. Okay. Weird. I didn't know ants could eat that. So, yeah, I guess that would mean that would also be a problem on high-rises. I hadn't heard about that before. I mean, it sounds annoying, but also interesting. But I guess it depends on where you are. Like, if you're at a place that has a lot of spots that pigeons would like to sit on, that's gonna be different than if you live in like a fully like glass outside type building. Because on those, like, they'd be able to sit on the roof, but like, yeah. You know, like the office type, like it's basically just like a glass cube type place. Because for those, like, I don't think the poop would have enough surfaces to collect on. So. Yeah, I've seen plenty of those spikes. Like, I think it was in London that I saw a lot of them. Like, on, signs and stuff outside, they would just be everywhere. Those spikes. In some cases, it looked quite intense. It's like if you have, like, an overground, like, train station type thing. That just kind of feels like if there's pigeons in your area, then I get used to it. Because, yeah. I have not seen much that actually keeps them away. Like, what I've seen is some people have those plastic raven, like, yard ornament type things to try and scare them off, but I would assume... Like, sure, pigeons aren't the most intelligent birds, but at some point they're going to recognize that the plastic raven isn't going to do anything to them. But I have also seen a picture of, like, someone left their window open, I think, and, when they came back on their bed, there was one stick and one pigeon egg. Because the pigeon had decided to, like, build a nest there. AKA, add one stick. So... on one side, pigeons are quite intelligent, because, like... otherwise, like, they wouldn't have been useful for all the purposes that pigeons were used for. But they're also not the smartest birds. So... yeah, not quite sure how that was supposed to work in that pigeon's mind, but... there. Yeah, they seem to be able to navigate pretty well. So... there are less intelligent animals. Like, there are definitely animals where you're told to keep them in a fairly small environment because otherwise they won't find anything. So... there is that. Like, not having a fish tank that's, like, way too big, because otherwise your fish might not ever find the food. But yeah. Yeah, I know of a pigeon that lives on a nearby roof. In exactly one spot, and it sits there pretty much for most of the day, and sleeps there every night. So, yeah. It's like in, like, the nook of a roof. It's there all the time. Like, it's quite possible that it is sitting there right now. And if not right now, it might sit there at the end of the stream. But yeah, before that, I'd never really seen something like that as much before, but it's like a differently colored pigeon, so for that one it's kind of obvious that's the same one. But yeah, didn't really know they do that, but apparently that's a thing for them. So, I mean, that one clearly keeps on finding its sleeping spot. If I look at my navigating skills in, like, Minecraft, that pigeon is way ahead of me. Because sometimes I can't find my base no matter what I do. But, oh well. Let's see. Nope. Still further to go. Let's save. Yeah, there's lots of animals that get weirdly used to humans. There's also some squirrels in some parks that are really pushy. Because they're just used to getting fed by people. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen pigeons that get way too used to people. Like, some of them still retain an amount of respect towards humans and avoid them. But there are some pigeons that are going to fly so close to you that you feel, like, the, tip of their wing brush your face. I prefer not to have too many of those near me. Went a bit too far. I've actually been to Venice once. But yeah, I would agree, the pigeons there are intense. If you're someone like me, you also don't want a pigeon to land anywhere near your hair, because my hair is basically, well, it works kind of similar to a spider's web. Stuff kind of gets tangled in it, including insects sometimes, and they kind of freak out. So, yeah, pigeons are the same. I have had a pigeon get caught in my hair once. It was not fun. But I'm glad it managed to free itself fairly fast. Still, not a fun experience. Would not recommend. Oh, thanks for the raid! How you doing today? What were you streaming? So, let's park the ship here. Save. And then look around, see if we can find the dungeon. At least this is where it used to be. Don't know if it still is. I'm not actually familiar with ice, so either way, hopefully it was fun. There's still so many franchises I haven't even touched on. I think we just need to get back on the ship. Because the dungeon is not here. marked on the map at all? I mean, maybe? It's difficult to say. It looks like that might be a dungeon marked over there somewhere. Like within the mountain. There, got that one. Hey. Don't do that. Leave the ship alone. Dang it. And restore. I really don't like those creatures. Because they're way too efficient at destroying my ship. Okay, at least if I keep... I was going to say, at least if I keep moving, the ship doesn't get damaged as much. I really don't like those sea creatures. But yeah, speaking of animals that are quite, difficult to deal with, another one I've heard plenty of stories about is seagulls. I personally don't have too many seagull-related stories since I was mostly in a country that didn't really have seagulls because of not being connected to an ocean. But yeah, still. Why is the torch not working? I didn't mean for the sea creature to light it. So, if I use the torch, torch is lit. There, now it works. Okay. Dang it. Every time. Maybe I can wait over here and just get them when they're closer. But I've seen plenty of videos of like seagulls stealing entire sandwiches out of people's hands. Also that one video of a seagull like stealing stuff from a store. Like actually walking in through the door and just grabbing stuff and flying back out. Yeah, I'm glad I haven't dealt with too many of those seagulls. But I am slightly scared of seagulls just because of that whole thing, because that doesn't sound very pleasant to deal with. And they have some very sharp-looking beaks, so I don't want to get on the wrong side of a seagull. Yeah, I get that it's mostly annoying, but you know, I also just don't want to get dive-bombed by a bird. Just, yeah, it does not seem like the one thing to enhance your day. Yeah, I don't mean in the sense that I feel like a seagull's going to attack me, just that they might steal stuff from me. So, yeah. I'd still be a bit defensive. And I tend to be very attached to my food. I Like, if I have food, I'm going to eat that food. I don't want to get in a fist fight with a seagull. Like, in general, when I am holding food, it's not because I don't want to eat it. Okay. Dang it. Stop it! I did so well with the first one. Okay. But yeah, knowing me, I'd be quite upset if my food got stolen by a random animal. The water's on fire because it's just having a great day, I guess. But yeah, still don't see the entrance to a cave around here. I guess I could always look it up. Fine. I will gladly attack them from over here. Die, evil creatures. Die. There. Okay, killed that one. Where'd the other one go? I don't see it. Coward. Okay. Active combat mode again. It can't go any lower than this. But it feels like it would be around here. But then again, it might also just be a shadow on the map. Might not have anything to do with the dungeon I'm looking for. Would just be a bit silly if the location of the dungeon changes between games. But then again, a decent amount of the environment in this game has changed, so... Could be that they also changed that detail. Can't go through there. But I can go around it. Okay. So, anything around here? Other than Headless fighting something else. Oh. Headless fighting a fighter. Of course. Okay, we've got this place. Still don't know where the dungeon is, so I might just have to go to a place and ask. Let's see which one it... Which city would that one be related to? I guess the City of You. Because the Dungeon of Wrong and the City of You is the City of Justice. So presumably someone there knows about the dungeon. So I think we'll just go there. First I need to get the ship back. Alright. I'll try and sail back to Britain. Because that way, I know where the ship is. I'll have an easy way of traveling there. Because I don't think I can use the ship with the portal. Would be quite silly if I could open one of those portals on the water and then have the entire ship go through. And then there's just a ship in the middle of Lord British throne room. So, yeah, I'm gonna doubt that that would work. That can't go around there. So many tricky islands. Let's just try going north. Maybe that'll be easier. And then just go all the way along the border. What's this place? Thought I was going to the end of the world. Where are we? Okay. Which town is this? That I accidentally ended up in. Oh, also, very original character designs as usual. Who runs this place? I don't mean the shipyard, I mean this village. Oh, that looks like it's gonna be Right. Which town was that in again? Hmm. Was that Minnock? I think it might be Minnock. Huh. Okay. So, restore. And try and sail around it. For the longest time, I actually never had a kebab, ever. But then, like, I think just about a year ago I've had it for the first time. So, yeah. Like a year or two. And it is quite nice. I've just not really been very adventurous with, like, international food options. I mean, I'm not sure what that would look like. But I guess you could put pretty much anything on pizza. I mean, it sounds like a better idea than putting pineapple on a pizza, in my opinion. But I personally tend to be very against, like, mixing savory and sweet things, so... Okay. Gonna need to zoom out on that map. We'll need to travel back between the two islands. So when we're somewhat close to 0 north or south, then we should be able to head west and have a somewhat easy time reaching the palace. Yeah, fair enough. For me, I've just always been a bit of a picky eater. I can't really help it. Like, sure, I can try new foods, but there's a decent chance I won't be able to finish them. And I'm very against wasting food, so... So that's why I tend to just stick to what I know, because that way I don't risk wasting stuff. Unless it sounds like a safe enough bet that I'll like it. But even then I sometimes get it wrong. But yeah, when I, for the life of me, can't actually eat a food, and that's that. There. But yeah, since I'm also quite fond of cooking, I might end up trying some different recipes that way. Because, you know, you can always alter stuff slightly. Like, there are plenty of recipes that mix, like, I don't know, using honey in a savory dish, and I could just not do that part. Just to make it so I can actually eat it. Well, they might go well together if you don't have a very, very strong aversion to mixing sweet and savory flavors. Like, in some cases, I am just unable to eat food like that. In general, I have avoided honey mustard, mostly. But, like, I've had so many examples of, like, a food where sweet and savory flavors are mixed, and I just haven't found a single one that I like, ever. All of them I quite strongly dislike. Like, even if it's a food that I otherwise like, if you add the sweetness to it, I dislike it. Like, even if it's something like crackers. When I was in the US for a bit, I had issues because, I think it was even with some types of bread, but mainly with crackers, that I noticed that everything was sweet. And, yeah, that made it difficult for me to, like, actually find food that I could tolerate. So, yeah. I know a lot of people are really into the, like, combining salt and sugar in the same dish, but yeah, I just can't. Yeah, for me, like, I ate, like, pretty much unsweetened baked goods, like breads and stuff. Not like pastries, but like, yeah, I'm just not used to bread being sweet. So, for me it's like, it kind of feels like it's gone off or something, so my body just refuses to consume that. Because basically my brain goes, this food is not supposed to taste sweet, therefore this tastes off, therefore we don't eat it. And there goes that dish. So, yeah. Yeah, personally I also like baking my own bread, I just haven't done it in a while. In part because I've been low on energy, so... But hopefully I can do it again soon. The thing is, I kind of have to do it during the part of the year where it won't be unbearably hot, so... But yes, I personally quite like fresh baked bread. So, yeah. Like, I have used, like, a bread baking machine. So the ones where you basically just insert all the ingredients and it does the kneading the dough and, like, letting it rise and everything for you. But I kind of prefer doing it by hand. But then again, I'm not, like, baking bread every week. But if I was, it would probably be more convenient to do it with a machine. Yeah, they are quite nifty. But they're also a bit difficult to clean. The one I've used, the part that actually, like, stirs it tends to get baked into the loaf and is then a bit difficult to get out without scratching it because it's like a non-stick coating. So, it's a bit difficult. Are we where I'm supposed to be, or is this Britain? I don't know if this is Britain. We'll find out. I guess we can actually use this. Okay, we are in the right spot. There we go. Yeah, exactly. So I'm thinking that maybe having a bread baking machine where you are the one kneading the dough might be nicer than having one that also does that part for you. Because, like, the container itself is easy enough to clean, but the spinny thing, that's really quite the hassle. Especially if it's baked into the loaf and you need to, like, use, like, tongs to get it back out of there. Because you're not supposed to eat that part, and you need it for the next loaf of bread. But yeah, since you're also not supposed to scratch it, yeah, it's difficult. I think you're ideally supposed to get that part out of there before the bread fully cools. Which makes it even more difficult, because, yeah. The bread might be hot, but the metal part that's baked into the bread is gonna be even worse. But yeah, I've recently gotten a book about baking different types of breads from scratch, like the way you would at a bakery. And I haven't really used any of the recipes yet, but, like, I do feel quite inspired, even though some of the recipes seem quite, intense. Like, some of them you need to, like, make a pre-dough type thing? I don't fully understand it yet, but yeah, it has more steps. It's not just your average bread baking mix that you buy at the grocery store. Where you just, like, add water and that's enough. But obviously, if you make stuff from scratch, it's always going to have more ingredients. But I meant in terms of, like, the steps of, like, getting from dry ingredients to, like, putting the bread in the oven. It seems significantly longer for a lot of those, but presumably the results are going to be different as well. So let's ask for healing again. Good. And now we should be able to use the stone to travel over to where we want to be. Alright. I don't fully know where I'm supposed to place the stone yet, so I'll check. Where was that handy dandy chart? There it is. So... I've never actually had pecan pie. Like, I've had some pecans before, but it's been a long time. I don't think I've ever... Like, I haven't had many baked goods that include pecans. So, yeah. But if I remember right, pecans are kind of similar in taste to walnuts? Like, not exactly, but comparable, I'd say. It's filled with corn syrup. Eh. That sounds a bit strange. Just filling a pie with syrup? Or is that just the sweetener that's used? So, who in here could probably tell me about the dungeon? Ah, okay. Yeah, I guess if you make it yourself, you could just choose which sweetener you use. But of course, there are going to be people who would prefer to have a completely, like, unsweetened pie. But, to me that sounds difficult to get it to actually taste good. So let's ask about the dungeon. We hardly have time to chat about... No, okay. Ask about Ron. No. Yeah, exactly. So if you buy stuff that's mass-produced, it's going to probably not be the same as how you would make it yourself. Like, personally, I tend to really enjoy homemade, like, cakes and pies, and I tend to dislike store-bought ones. Like, a lot of store-bought stuff, it just tastes kind of stale in comparison. I guess a fairly easy, like, way to compare it is, like, if you buy pre-popped popcorn versus microwave popcorn. To me, there's a huge difference there. Just in terms of, like, texture and flavor. What was going on with this person again? What's your job? Stain these stocks, make sure they work properly. Right. Yeah, but I mean, walnuts are also quite expensive, I think. So, yeah. But having a walnut tree also comes with its own issues, because, like, in the past I've, like, had some, like, homegrown walnuts, not store-bought, and, they came with, 3 teeny tiny beetles that then caused a giant infestation. So, there is that. So in some cases you do have to be a bit careful with growing produce yourself or buying stuff that was like grown in like your neighbor's yard or something. Because, yeah, like if they are infested with insects, there's a good chance that those insects would also really like to eat whatever else is in your kitchen. Because, yeah. A lot of them are opportunistic. And if they like nuts, they might also like flour, for example. So, yeah. Now, who could tell us about the dungeon here? Don't mind me, I'm just being silly. There. Now he can at least admire the craftsmanship of this basket. Sure, he appreciates that. And presumably they won't need that basket anyway. So. Yeah, who could tell me about this? I guess I could try the pub once it's full enough. Right. That group has come over here. I'm thinking the pub might be a decent bet. And she might also know, potentially. So, what was your name again? Andrea? Right, she was asking for my name. I wasn't supposed to. Apparently we're both called Andrea now. Yes. Them who are beat at arm wrestling call me Miss Barlap, though. Out of respect. Okay. Wrestling. She looks you up and down and then feels your arm. Care for a match? I guess so. You're on. She grabs your arm and begins, and the contest begins. And the winner is me. Ha. Yay. Okay. Can I ask about the dungeon now? Ask around. Wrong. Ask around. Job? I've had many jobs in my time, but running this pub is the best. Because I get to meet the strongest men. I sell ribs, ale, mead, wine, and rations. Men? Look around. Here you'll find the men whose lives have led them to many dangerous places. Someone in a dark corner shouts, "Like this pub!" and all the patrons laugh. The pub is empty right now. So I think it's a mouse. And the other patrons are also mice. Because we're the only ones here otherwise. Ask about justice? No. Ask for a chat? No. Come back when you're thirsty? Fine. They don't even have enough chairs for us. So, who would tell me about the location of that dungeon? I mean, I guess I could just look it up. But I want to do it the proper way, you know? But then again, if nobody wants to tell me about it... I think that's Taylor. I mean, I've tried. Like, I'll wait till nighttime, till people are actually at the pub, but if nobody knows, then... yeah. It's gonna be a matter of asking the internet. Sun is setting. People are arriving at the pub. Just one person so far. Guess I can ask. Right. Her. Already asked her. Nobody else? Oh, there. Okay. Do you know about the dungeon? No. Nobody else in there yet? It's getting quite dark at the pub. Oh, by the way, next Tuesday we are going to be able to start Duke Nukem 1. The game is working, so just in case any of you were curious. Because, yeah, it's a new-ish game distribution platform that I haven't worked with before, but yeah, seems like it's working just fine. But yeah, getting Duke Nukem games, they seem to be exclusive to the one platform at the moment, which is a bit silly. But, you know. They probably have the reasons for why they wanted exclusivity. Is that lady never going to go to bed? Just running around behind the counter all day long. Well, there aren't any customers. Or all night long, actually. And I think she went to bed. Yep. After having 2 customers today. Yeah, I think I'm going to ask the internet. This town seems to be too small to actually tell us much. So... let's see. Looking for the Dungeon of Wrong? Right. Okay. Did I take notes when I talked to the one guy in Jalan? Yeah, just that it's in that dungeon. Okay. So... yeah, so it is supposed to be in the area that I was looking for it. But... not really sure why I missed it. Yeah, guess we'll just search there again. Probably wait till daytime, because it's gonna be difficult to find anything in this darkness. There. Move my map around a bit so I can actually see the area. Yeah, it does look like it's supposed to be in the same place as before, but for some reason I couldn't find it earlier. But maybe I just didn't look hard enough. Yeah, exactly. But I feel similarly when enemies stun lock you and you just don't get to play. Let's go this way. Alright. Plenty of small boats. Alright. Now we see if that dungeon is reachable from here. I mean, it would presumably be in the side of a mountain. So that's where the other ones were. So I'll just stick close to the mountains. Now we're already crossing that river. I thought it was supposed to be here already. I'll just look elsewhere. So, Ultima 6. Oh, right. I haven't seen that redeem in a while. Which frame do you want to change? The webcam one or the one below? Because I still haven't made new ones for the game capture. Shame on me. I'm not seeing it on this map. Ultima 6. Let's see. Yeah, I'm searching in the correct location according to that map. Okay. So it looks like it's... yeah, in the mountains. Let's see. I think we had this one before. How about that one? The two colors. Maybe I can use one of those boats to reach it. Let's try. It's a much smaller boat, so it should presumably be able to get to places that the big one can't get to. I just need to be careful not to go out into the open ocean. Hmm. I'll see if I can find a larger version of that file. Okay. Because I want as precise of a location as possible, because it's gonna be difficult enough to find it anyway. So it looks like it should be around here somewhere. Did not mean you. Nobody invited the sea serpent to the party. It just kind of invited itself. There we go. Yeah, it seems like it's supposed to be in here somewhere. But I'm not seeing anything. Let's save and use the gem. Maybe that'll tell me. Maybe I need to go, like, here instead. Okay. What if I use the gem now? I'm not sure. Tricky. Because it feels like it should be around here. But the cloth map, the other map I'm using, and this map, they don't really line up that well. Nope, nothing there. Is that dungeon? Just a random swamp. Okay. very swampy. But where did I leave the raft? I mean, obviously somewhere at the shore, but kind of lost track of it. There it is. It's weird. It seems so well hidden. Let's try the gem again. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be here. Well, yeah, that's not gonna end well. Let's restore. Okay. Yeah. I'll try and look it up again. Because I keep on not finding it. Ultima 6. Dungeon location. Okay. So it's near the long haul, a road that starts near the Shrine of Justice, continues across Sea Gulf, then down to Loch Lake, near the Shrine of Compassion. The entrance to the dungeon is in the mountains east of the northmost part of Long Haul. Walk through Mountain Pass, continue clockwise until sea and mountains block your way. Then explore to the west. Apparently it's the same dungeon as the Covetous dungeon. Interesting. So they just combined dungeons for this game. Yeah, let's just bring the boat back. My cough is still going strong. Alright. So. It's in the mountains east of the northmost part of the long hall. Okay. And sure, we'll switch the frame. There we go. A cookie-themed one. How fitting. I hope you have a nice breakfast. Nice animated emote. Okay, so we're at the eastern end, or the northeastern corner of that path. So walk through Mountain Pass. I'll walk through there. I'll walk through there. Last one, maybe? Okay. And then west. No. That's not it. Oh, there it is! Yay, we got it! So I was very close to where I was looking, I just was like one step away from seeing it. Looks like a pretty well-maintained dungeon. It's got brick walls and everything. Okay, we've had... I think we figured out that Sherry can get through those gates. Because that one time she got attacked by a dog that was behind one of those. Yes, there. Well, that's not very nice. Ow. Just attack the guy through the gate. Okay, he's killed. Sword, ring mail. I guess we can take that for the new guy. I don't think we need it though. There. Didn't miss a thing there. But it could have been important, who knows? But there are no doors there, so. Cauldron. Alright. Magically locked door. Open door. Magically locked door. No doors there. Was that the one we were just in? Yes. Looks like it. Fine. Might have been another one. They just all look the same. Oh, this one has doors. Can Cherry open doors? Locked. Locked. Fine. Did the other one have doors? No. No doors. Except for maybe if there are hidden doors. Which is difficult to tell in a place like this. So for that I might use the gems to make a map again. It worked okay last time. Like, sure, it wasn't foolproof, but still mostly worked. Almost. Okay, he's still alive somehow. Not for much longer. I feel like more games should have boomerangs as weapons. They're just so convenient. Okay, another one of those doors. Okay. I guess we attack. Since that person is now attacking the rest of the group as well. Might as well have the entire group attack. There we go. So, nothing else in there. And any interesting stuff. Gold and a green potion. Nice. I'll take those. Sherry is now carrying quite a bit of gold. For a mouse. A switch? Okay. Don't know what that did. Do these open? Nope. I'll just assume that flipping that switch is a good thing. Nothing there. I think this dungeon is going to be a tricky one. But anyways, since I'm going to be starting Duke Nukem 1 next week, I am quite curious about it. I've never actually played any of the Duke Nukem games except for Duke Nukem Forever. So, and that one seems quite different from the first game. I think the first game is a platformer, a 2D platformer. So, and I'm not really good at platformers yet, so hoping that it'll be a good introduction to platformers for me. But you know, I'll learn, presumably. But I haven't heard of Duke Nukem 1 being the most difficult platformer. So, hoping that that's going to end up being the case for me. Like, I'm not absolutely horrible at them, I'm just not very good. But I'll get there. But it sounds like we might potentially need a death counter. But I think we'll have to unlock some of these doors. Magically locked, and that one is open. So let's do this one first, or I guess I could check the gem. Okay. So let's just unlock it and see what happens. Unlock magic. Okay. Ah, that's the way down. Let's go. Still quite glad that we don't need to find a way back out of these dungeons, because I can just teleport. And for now, this dungeon doesn't seem to be too dangerous. Oh, what's that thing? A gazer, okay. Maybe we should all go into attack mode? Just in case. Heavily wounded. Okay. Insects killed as well. So... anything interesting in here? Nope. What about in here? Ah, another switch. Hear a noise. Oh, I think that's a gem. I will get that. Okay, that's a magically locked door. That's the explosives. Okay, nothing here. Wait, is that the way? Is that the way down? Okay. I'm confused. I think I'm on the 3rd level now. Either that or I haven't kept track of what I'm doing. Oh, maybe the lever opened that door. That could be. Okay. So many magically sealed doors. Another one. Another one. Another one? Okay. I am not sure what's going on with this door, but, I think this door is maybe out of order. I feel like they might need more than just a locksmith to fix that. Okay. I guess I'll try my luck with this thing. Just because I'm curious? I'm just not sure I should be curious about this. Oh, fine, I didn't mean to use it on the Hydra. Can I attack the Hydra? Okay. Works. There. Killed. Neat. Guess I save now? Then cast, unlock. There it goes. And there is nothing in here. Okay then. I'll just unlock all of them, I guess. Okay. Guess we're gonna be attacking that one. Yep. Not letting the other ones in. Dupre was being greedy. Oh, found a chest. And got poisoned. Great. Let's fix that. I think it was Dispel Magic. Wasn't it? Yes, it was. Okay. Don't want the rest. Okay. Kind of was still on combat mode. So I'll go and find the rest of the team. Come on. Not everyone yet. There they are. There we go. And lock magic. Okay. Bunch of children. Can I talk to them? No response. They're angry children. Okay. Well, you chose this for yourselves. There. They attacked me first. I was trying to talk to them. Okay, I think that's all of them. Now, anyone carrying anything? Probably not, but... oh well. I do have a feeling that might be bad for my karma, but... oh well. Too late now. Okay. Unlock. Sure, we'll also kill you, I guess. Nothing on the guy. There. Let's get that bat. There it goes. Okay. Seems like more combat. I like how they're just closing the door behind them. Because, I mean, that's gonna stop us from getting the rest of them a door. I'll get that gold. And this guy also has gold. I will gladly take that and invest it into future potions and such. Okay. What about this one? Oh, a ladder down. I'm not sure which floor we're on. Like, is that the ladder we came from? I keep getting this very confused about that stuff. Okay. Wait, this looks like the same place. Am I running in circles? Fine. Oh. Is that a basilisk or something? It's a big snake. Ah. Silver serpent. That's what that is. It's just heavily wounded, still. Not severely wounded. Oh, critical. Oh, is it trying to move away? Wait, it kind of looks like it's moving like in the Snake game? I don't know if that's the proper name for it, but you know, the old like game that was also on phones and stuff. Presumably it was on other devices before it was on cell phones, but you get the one I mean. Yeah, exactly that one. I actually used to like that game quite a lot. Like, towards the end it gets very, tricky, where you need to, like, have the snake move in a pattern to try and, like, fit the entire snake on the screen. So, yeah. It's a nifty game. Okay. Sounds nice, though. Like, would you have to basically rewrite the entire game yourself that way? I mean, I've never done anything like that, so I'm just curious how that works. Skeletons is what those are. Alright. Good luck, everyone. Still alive. Yep, there it goes. How's Sherry doing? Sherry's doing okay. Okay. It sounds like a lot of effort. Then again, I've heard from a couple of people that they did stuff like that, and like it seems like that is a lot more educational than a lot of the things you learn in actual school. So it's kind of fun. Like, to me, that skill would probably be more useful than, like, knowing the, like, knowing details about the life of some long-dead artist or something. So. There. Because I feel like sometimes in schools they just have you learn stuff by heart for no good reason. Because it's not really stuff that you're going to be able to use at all. Like, sure, it's like general education stuff, but some things just aren't going to be relevant at all. Unless you're, like, working at a museum, for example. Like, sure, some parts of general knowledge are more general than others. But some things are just... yeah. Fun facts you could maybe use as, like, a party trick. And that's it. Supposedly critical again. There. Let's stop combat. combat mode and save again. Yeah, that serpent. I prefer not to have to kill him a couple more times. I'm not really seeing anything here. Like, what would secret doors even look like? Because... Wait, what was that? What is that? What's fighting us? A ghost! That's what that is. Of course. What else would it be? I don't know where it went. No, it's still in the same spot. Wait, it's in the wall now? Alright. I don't think I can shoot through the wall. So... yeah, it seems a bit unfair that I can just do that. Yeah, these rooms are empty now. We can't go further down, so let's go back up again. We killed the serpent twice, and that didn't give us anything, so... Ow, who's attacking us now? It's probably a bat again, isn't it? Yep, it is. Or more like, it was a bat. Because now it's just a bloodstain. Oh. This guy. Seems very indecisive. Okay. Dead. So. And I'll take your money. There. Okay. Got more of them, because they've all just respawned. Of course they have. Oh, no, just the two of them. Neat, I guess. Alright. And that guy is respawned as well. I'm starting to get better at the keybinds for this game. So, I guess that's something. Ow. I'll take that. I'll take the ham. So... well! I guess that's what that looks like. I hadn't seen the full thing before. Big. Dead. Yeah, I've opened all of these doors. What am I missing? I also opened all the doors in the level with the snake. And I already killed these guys twice, or... do it a third time, I guess? just the one guy this time. Yeah, right, the feral children again. I can't be good for our karma. But I can't really lock the door back up again, so... It's fine. Everything's fine. There. Solve them again. This guy's back again. It's difficult to look around since they all keep on respawning. So. At least this time the chest wasn't tracked. Yeah, I think I'll just look it up, because I feel like I've been through this dungeon thoroughly enough. Okay. So we are on the 3rd floor. Apparently the upper east cell contains a secret passage. Okay. So the one with the Hydra in it. Of course! And now we get to defeat the Hydra for the 3rd time. If enemies didn't respawn that fast, it would be way easier to look around. But like, how are you supposed to know that there's a secret passage in here somewhere? There it is. Okay. I mean, maybe there's more than one secret passage, who knows? But I haven't found a specific hint in this game about, like, how to see a secret passage. Like, maybe in this one, they're just... Maybe you just need to search the wall everywhere, all the time. So, that is a magic bow. Okay. I think that's going to go to YOLO. And that's a lockpick. Got the map piece. Gold. A gem. This is a dagger. Don't really need that. And more gold and a torch. Sounds good to me. Alright, that's the 4th map piece out of 9. Neat. But I'm still wondering how you're supposed to find those hidden passageways, because, like, in the previous one, they had, like, a brick that had 1 pixel off compared to the other bricks, but in this game I haven't really figured it out yet at all. So, I don't know if there is a way to see it from afar. Especially since the secret passages are... they're so narrow. It doesn't even look like the characters should actually fit through there, so... Maybe the clue is just as subtle. Since the door is so narrow. I don't know. Either way, we can go back. Managed to get through the dungeon, even if it required some amount of help. But yeah, like, how am I supposed to know that there's a random secret passage right there? Am I supposed to just bash my head against every single wall I find? Is that how you're supposed to play this? I think at that point I would be more famous for having a fairly permanent concussion. Less so famous for being an adventurer. That pixel looks off. I see grass. Fine. Nothing important then. Yeah, I have Wizard Eye, but I would then have to cast it all the time, everywhere. Which would mean that I'd basically have to do the same thing with Wizard Eye. Where I just, like, keep casting it in all the places. So then I just need to, like, have the ingredients to spam cast Wizard Eye. At which point it sounds... well, I guess I could, like, save and reload after I've cast it a bunch of times. But it could still be quite tricky. Because in a lot of cases there's a very large area that you have to search for secret rooms. So, I don't know. Either way, got another one to cross off the list. Wrong is done. So, there are 2 more dungeons that we know about. And then there's one that died in a shipwreck. Not sure where the shipwreck is. I haven't really heard about the shipwreck yet. I think. Unless the pirate guy who was married to the lady who owned the locket, maybe that guy died in a shipwreck. But I already got his piece, so maybe, like, he had a crew member who was part of the other crew who also died in that same shipwreck. Don't know. Anyway. So yeah, 2 dungeons, definitely. But potentially there's going to be another one, because there's one clue that we don't even have yet. So, one of the locations, I don't know where that's going to be. I guess I could ask about the shipwreck. I'll look at the map, see if there's any, like, drawing of, like, a shipwreck somewhere. There is a drawing of an anchor on the cloth map, but also, like, a griffin? Like, what are these creatures called? The ones that are sometimes on old emblems? The ones that are kind of like a cross between a lion and an eagle. Those things. So there's one of those. And there's also a drawing of a fish. So, maybe the anchor doesn't mean anything. Griffin. Yes, those. There's also a drawing of a dragon, of a lion, and of a hydra? Well, the hydra is not in the place where I just defeated one, so... don't know. And I think a troll in the forests? But it could still be that there is a shipwreck near the place with the anchor drawing. I don't know. That one is closest to Jalam, I think? Or is... no, that's Scarbray. So I guess I could travel to Scarborough and then ask around about a shipwreck. Maybe I'm right, who knows? So... let's see... where did I have to put the gem to travel there? Seem to have closed that tab. Moonstone? No. Orb of the Moons? Okay. There. That should work. Got a screenshot of one of those now. So we're trying to go to Scarborough. Which should be... down here. Okay, nobody in here. But maybe someone in town is gonna know about a shipwreck. Let's save. Talk to this person. Ask about shipwreck. No. What was your job again? I look after the dock. You're probably wanting a skiff. We have one. We have none for sale. Sure to return it. Right. I think she was the one who had the rune in this area. And I think there was some storyline about her parents being dead. But I can't remember if they died on a shipwreck or not. So, does this guy know about a shipwreck? No? Do you know about a shipwreck? Shipwreck? No. Maybe this person. That is how you spell that, right? I think so. Because this game really punishes you if you don't know how to spell things. Okay. Was a bit worried that she would be asleep, but apparently she isn't. Let's ask about the shipwreck. Nope. Right, that's just the closet. Fancy walk-in closet. Considering... most of these houses don't seem to have those. But I guess they do own the entire inn, so... guess that ghost is just roaming around. You see, a tiny little man with wild eyes. The descriptions in this game still... does he know about a shipwreck? Nope. It seems like nobody knows about it. Nobody's in here. I guess I can just take the ship and look around there, but... It would be nice if I'd heard about stuff. If I wasn't just going based on, like, a detail on the cloth map. See a huge imposing man adorned in a leather apron. I think this guy might have been a sailor. I feel like bolting, he... Wait. Oh, he has a large bloody hook. I feel like bolting, but then he drops it in a pocket on his apron and extends a bloody hand. He smells strongly of fish. Right, this guy. Do you know about a shipwreck? No. But he's a fisherman, right? Job? Yep, exactly. Not quite as exciting as some jobs, but it keeps me near the sea. Even if fishing's been poor. Fish come, fish go. Right now, the fish have gone. But I'll come back. And when they do, I'll be waiting for them with my nets. You have to use nets to do serious fishing. Paul will never catch you enough to sell. Never use them myself. I stick to nets, faster and easier. Man's gonna make a living. Okay. Good to know if I ever need to catch enough fish to sell them, I guess. But I think we're currently doing fine on money. So... Don't think we'll switch from being the avatar to being a fisherman. At least not right now. Maybe some other time. But I guess we can just travel back to Britain and use the ship and hope for the best. Actually, was there a shrine I could travel to? Because probably use some leveling up. There. Now, this is the Shrine of Honesty. So the mantra for it is AHM. Yep. There. And nope. Nothing to learn. Whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest. If there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things. What is that supposed to tell me? Okay. I think YOLO's the next one. Still nobody is leveled up. How about Yana? Nope. And how about Sherry? Gained a level. Nice. And lastly, Blaine. Nope. Just Cherry who leveled up. Is Cherry going to be as strong as Dupre, Shamino, and Yana now? I think she might be. Yeah, she's gonna be a very mighty mouse soon enough. Not saying she isn't already, but... like, she's just... gaining a lot of power. Yeah, why would I ever tell Sherry to leave? That would be silly. I do wonder how many people played through the rest of the game with Sherry as one of their group. I feel like it might be a lot of people. Because, I mean, Sherry is adorable. So I hope that a lot of people just kept Sherry around. Because I think she is part of the main quest, so you have to have her in your group at some point, but there's probably someone out there who didn't keep Sherry around, or Sherry died. Because gargoyles are tough. So, yeah. Eventually the sun's going to rise. But Lord British likes to sleep in, so even then he won't immediately appear. Speaking of sleeping in, I've been up since 4 AM today. I'm a very long sleeper. So yes, at least, this time of year, I wake up before sunrise. Lord British does not, and so does, like, most of the kingdom. They just all sleep in. Now over here, it's almost 2 PM. So I've almost been up for 10 hours now. But yeah, I tend to wake up quite early most of the time. And today I actually slept quite well, so yeah. It's just nice since I've been sick with my cold. And yeah, if you cough a bunch during the night, it's kind of exhausting. So I'm glad to finally be good, to finally get some decent sleep, even if I'm still coughing. There we go. So, let's ask for some healing. And yep. Sherry is just as powerful as the rest of them now. Nice. Sherry is awesome. And able to wear a helmet and boots these days, so. Okay. So, where do we go next? I guess to the ship? To look for that shipwreck? Because, I mean, who knows? Maybe it's super easy to find. if I just go to that location on the map. I mean, would be quite out of the ordinary for one of the map pieces to actually be easy to find, but you know, it's possible. In theory. So, let's save before we leave. And the location of that anchor on the map is like 35 south and 25 west. No clue why. I think, for me, I'm somewhat immune to it, because I haven't really heard a different version of the song. And these versions don't really get stuck in my head. But I'm sure there's catchier versions of it. But, I don't know. Like, for me, it tends to be catchier if it has lyrics. So. Some wolves, I guess? Eh. No need to bother them. They'll respawn anyway. And I don't think shooting stuff off a ship is going to be helping us gain experience. So... I do kind of like the sailing melody. It's just so aggressively happy. And that just makes it feel extra silly when you are just going in circles a bunch. And you have issues figuring out where you're trying to go, but meanwhile, the music's having a great time. Okay, there's more land. Let's see, where are we right now? $67 south, 20 east. That's pretty far south. Okay. Let's continue on. Hopefully I'll be able to navigate through these islands. So that's gonna save me some time if that's possible. Yeah, looks like it worked. Awesome. Yeah, exactly. I just like having overly cheerful music combined with things where, like, you're just, like, raging at how difficult it is to maneuver the ship and how it takes ages. Meanwhile, the music is just cheery as ever. So, it was around 35 south and around 25 east. Or no, west, not east. But yeah, knowing how the coordinates and stuff work does definitely help for this game. So, might not be the most precise thing to use, but at least it's something. So, how far are we now? 15 west, but we want to be 25 west. How about now? 22. And 24. 24. 25. Alright. Let's save, I guess. Just in case of sea monsters. There might also be an island in the way. Yep, there it is. Called it. There's always something in the way. Nope, another one. So, where are we now? Okay, still on course. And 42. Almost at the location I wanted to check. 37. Well, we are at the spot I wanted to check. We'll just sail around a bit. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything, so... Yeah, I think that was a dead end. Oh well. In that case, I'm not sure who I'm supposed to ask about the shipwreck. I could try Buccaneer's Bay, I guess? Since it's presumably a pirate shipwreck. Is Buccaneer's Bay a place I can easily travel to? No, I think I need to use the ship for that. So I guess I might as well travel there and ask around. Because, yeah, it feels like a pirate shipwreck would be known about at the pirate meeting point. I just kind of doubt that the former pirate crew member then ended up not being a pirate anymore. Because, like, it's not like they swore off of piracy. It was just that their captain had died. So, feels like he probably didn't change careers. there. We'll still need to find it on the map again. Okay. So it's gonna be a slightly trickier one to navigate to. Because it's just... like, basically the entire island is like the shape of a C, and this small island is like inside the like C shape. So, yeah, like there's islands. Well, there's the big island, and then there's small islands that are going to block the path a bit. And it's going to be around 30 south and 30 east. Let's see if we can get through there. Nope. Through here. But it feels like a lot of this game is just trial and error. But it's probably meant to be that way. So, while I might sometimes look stuff up, I am trying to still, like, experience the trial and error of it all. Because, yeah, there's plenty of that. I just don't want to be, like, running in circles for weeks on end, not making any progress in the game. So yeah, it's tricky to find the balance there, but I'm trying my best. Or like in dungeons, like tapping every single wall to see if there's a secret door behind it. Or having the ingredients to like cast a spell 50 times. Like it just feels like certain parts of the game are very grindy. And just not for a very good reason. I think my cough votes against an extra long stream today. I'm so glad that I can at least stream. It is being quite persistent today. Okay. Can I fit through here? looks like it. Alright, so we want it to be... that was... around 30 east, 30 south? I think that was a Hydra swimming in the ocean there. Whenever I see Hydras like that in video games, it always reminds me of back when I had a fish tank. And there's a specific pest that's colloquially referred to as a Hydra. I can't remember the proper name for them. Anyways, it's like... well, a stem with like a bunch of tentacles and a mouth in the middle. And the stem tends to attach to like plants and the side of your fish tank and stuff like that. Anyway, and it's a variety that lives in sweet water, so, or freshwater, whatever. Point being, I saw I had those in my fish tank, and I was quite concerned because I checked forums and everyone said that they were really difficult to get rid of. And then, my kind of stupid male fish came along that he kept attacking his own reflection, so, and eating absolutely anything, even trying to eat stuff that he had just spat out, just trying over and over again until it hit the ground of the fish tank. Anyway, that fish came along and just ate them, and that was that. Like, he was a very territorial fish and just went, but there's a thing in my space, I'll try and eat it. So he did, and it worked. Yeah, but, well, it worked out quite well for me. And for that fish, because I guess he got a snack out of it. But yeah, after reading about those on the forums and everything, like, people were going on about how they're basically impossible to get rid of because if they get damaged or something, they can just regrow, and apparently for those, if they get cut into two pieces, both pieces have a chance of actually continuing to survive. Not like with earthworms, where that's actually incorrect. But with those, apparently it's actually a thing. Anyway... supposedly they're the most impossible thing to get rid of. Not that one, fish. But I mean, it could be that there's, like, more research that has been done since then. Yeah, don't know. Either way. Not how I expected the story to go either. Which is why I still remember it, because, yeah. Did not expect the problem to basically solve itself. But yeah, those were supposedly, like, going to attack the younger fish. Or the smaller ones. But... yeah. The mature adult fish was way too big for them to eat. And, well, it just worked out. And, like, just for the record, I did actually see him eat those things. They didn't just randomly disappear. So I know which fish did it. But I mean, out of all of them, that's also the one fish I would have expected to try and do that. Because, as I said, he would try and eat anything. So... Right, that's her. Don't need to talk to you. I wanted to talk to these people. Shipwreck. Fine old vessel, the Golden Hind. I have little to do while she's being repaired. Can I join your party? Guess so. Okay. Fine, she's part of my group now. Not what I was going for, but I'll take it. Right. I'll ask about the shipwreck. Can't help. This guy. Shipwreck. No. You there. Shipwreck. Right. Have I asked you yet? Right. How about you? Life on the sea is the only life for me. The Hind needs serious repairs. Must keep myself occupied. Perhaps I could join your party? Didn't you already... Okay. Oh, I have enough traveling with me already. Okay. Yeah, already asked that guy. I've got a pretty big team now. Yeah. So that's... 8 people? I think? Yes, 8 people. Yeah, they don't really seem to know about it. You don't have a ranged weapon yet. Let's ask about the ship. Being repaired. I'd be glad to join you, but I have already. Fine. I mean, I guess I could always tell her to leave if there's a specific character who really wants to join the group. I don't know how I'm going to find that shipwreck. I was hoping someone here would know about it, but I think I've asked most people here. Right, they've got their daily bar fight. I'll just stand out here. So, what do I try to do next? I mean, I guess I could go through the other dungeons. I guess I could, try and figure out if there was, like, another port where a bunch of sailors would be at the pub. I mean, Buccaneer's Den just seemed like the obvious one. Maybe ask this person? Once they wake up? Being the person who is responsible for ships around here. So, ask about behind. Ask around. Ask about a shipwreck. What? None? Ask about... job? Yeah, ships and skiffs. I don't want to buy a shipwreck, though. But I guess I just took the word ship and went good enough. Who could I ask about this? This guy? Oh, already did. And it feels like the innkeepers aren't as helpful in this one. Because in the previous one, they were pretty good. Guess I could ask this guy. Does he know about the shipwreck? Have you found the 8 pieces of the map yet? No. Ask about a shipwreck. Nope. I mean, he's the one who told me that one of them died on a shipwreck, but apparently he doesn't know which one. I mean, I guess I could see if... well, it'll probably just tell me the location. Yeah, I don't know where it would be, so... Where is the main article? There. Oh, at the Cape of Heroes is where the shipwreck is supposed to be. I mean, that makes sense. Like, I don't have an exact location, but Cape of Heroes, that's something to work with. Because, like, it's a big map. So, if we keep sailing south, we should basically stumble across it. Okay. Now I just follow this. Search around. I still don't know how we're supposed to get that information. Other than just stumbling across it, I guess. I mean, maybe this is famously a spot where shipwrecks just always happen. Let's see. Are we in the right spot? So that's 75 south? That seems right. And 43 east. Yeah, we're in the general area. Really say anything. Yeah, I think that's too far away. But I'm really curious how you're supposed to find that information. Like, it might really just be that you're supposed to stumble across it. But stumbling across stuff like that could take months if you're unlucky. Wait, which place is this? Are we back in Britain? Nah. Oh, I think this might be... what's it called? Serpent's Hold, I think? I mean, how would I find a shipwreck? I'd assume it has to be partially visible? I mean, maybe the entire ship is just... like... lying on the coast somewhere? I'll see if I can get a more precise location. 71 south, 15 east. Let's see. Oh, okay. So, way off. It's probably down here somewhere. But no wonder I didn't find it in this area. Yeah, I didn't really think that far away was still called the same, but... Okay. Are we there yet? Almost. Hope we can... there. Okay. Managed to get rid of it before it destroyed the ship. Always good. Yeah, this area is just way too huge. How are you ever supposed to find anything here? If they don't just give you the coordinates. Okay, there's skeletons and ghosts. Oh, there's the ship. Got him. Alright. Let's go to combat mode. Okay, we killed a ghost. Whatever that means. I mean, really, what does it mean to kill a ghost? Would a ghost not be able to just come back again? ghosts were kind of immortal, generally. There. I mean, the ghosts didn't leave any piles of bones or anything. So, maybe the skeletons, or maybe it's on the ship. I wonder if the ship is going to basically be its own dungeon. Yeah, with skeletons, I'd say it makes more sense that they can die. Like, if the skeleton itself gets destroyed. But a ghost, like, it doesn't have a physical form to begin with. Okay, got that one. The other ones aren't really helping on that one. Wait, did I just shoot the ship? Okay. Wait. Who's still attacking someone? Not really seeing anything. I'll take the gold. Bunch of spears and some gold. This one, spear, spear, spear. One shield. Wait, who's attacking? The shrub? Oh, it's a ghost again. Wait, attack with boomerang shrub. So I did attack the shrub. I'm confused. Okay. Searching here, you find part of the map. There we go. That's 2 map pieces today. Not sure where the ghost went, but that's fine. We'll just get back on board. Well, thanks for the raid. How is your stream? Are you still playing through the Metroid games? Because I think that's what I saw in your Go Live message today. Unless you switch games. Ah, fair enough. Well, I hope the game went well, even with feeling a bit more frustrated. I'm still fighting a cold myself, so yeah, I can relate. I mean, the Ultima games are definitely fun. trying to get back to Lord British. Let's see, how far off am I? Not too far. Hello. How you doing today? Is that the right one? No. I think that's a different town. Always good to save, because, yeah, my ships are kind of fragile. Let's see. Where's the dock? Should be somewhere around here. Okay. So. Time to add a tick next to the shipwreck part of the clues for map locations. So we've got the 2 dungeons, Dastard and Shame, still to go. And the 1 map piece that is still unknown. So I still think that one is gonna be a tricky one. Like, even if I knew the name of the character who could tell me where to find it, I probably still wouldn't know where that character would be. So, yeah, it feels like searching for a needle in a haystack to find a clue about a sailor who had a map piece. Like, the other one I just stumbled across by accident. But, like, for example, we've been to the morgue, so it could technically be that one of the corpses there has it, or that one of the people buried in the graveyard has it. Like, there's so many potential options. It could be absolutely anywhere. So, I think that one's gonna be a tricky one. I mean, maybe I get lucky and I just happen to talk to the right NPC, but we'll see. So, let's use the orb. Wait, we've got 5 pieces. We still need to find 3, so that's decent progress. It is still a very fancy throne. I haven't really noticed how it's the shape of the ankh. Like the top of the throne. The circular part with the line thing. I wonder what material that throne is supposedly made of. Because it looks like it's just solid stone. I mean, I guess maybe some medieval thrones were made of just stone. Just sounds a bit intense. Moving that much stuff. Or I guess it could be made of metal? Because, I mean, I thought they'd usually be golden in a game like this. But having it be grey just seems off. But maybe it's supposed to be, like, silver. Don't know. Just admiring the scenery while the British sleeps. We'll wake up eventually. He just likes to sleep in. But yeah, I'm not sure how I didn't notice that was the shape of the ankh. Oh well. And I think the emblem is supposed to be a snake? Not sure why, but maybe the British just like snakes? He's still not awake. There he is, finally. Alright. So, we want some healing. And I think we'll also possibly teleport to a shrine. I don't know if the new person gets to level up before we've done anything else. But maybe they do. So let's go to a different shrine this time. Let's do Valor. Why not? Okay. There. And the mantra for that one is... Raw. So, there. Let's try. And nothing else to learn. What about Dupre? Nope. I'll still try all of them just in case. Shamino. Nope. I said Shamino. Nope. How about YOLO? Nope. And how about Yana? I missed again. Was that Yana? I don't know. I don't think it was. I think I pressed the wrong button. I'm getting sloppy. Yeah, wrong button. There. So, Yana is not leveling up. I mean, presumably Sherry isn't gonna level up this time, because Sherry leveled up last time. But I'll try anyway. Nope. And what about the other two? He's still not leveling up, and the new lady... Nope. Okay. Fine. I mean, it was worth a try. Maybe the new lady just hadn't been to a shrine in a while and was actually a level higher than she said she was. But yeah. Oh, she is actually a level higher than Blaine. Well. I mean, I guess that makes sense. She has combat experience. He seems to be stronger, though. So I wonder what points she has compared to the others. So 15, 15, 18. He's got 16, 21, and 18. And he's level 2, she's level 3. Not sure why. Sherry has strength 2, dexterity 30, intelligence 19. Sherry is smarter than both Blaine and Liana. Nice. Sherry's also smarter than Dupre. And I've just got 30 on everything. Dupre has 26 strength, 24 dexterity, 18 intelligence. Shamino 21 strength, 27 dexterity, 19 intelligence. Yellow has 24 strength, 27. That's pretty close. He just has one additional level on Shimeno. But yeah, Yana with the 17 strength, 21 dexterity, and 20 intelligence. Like, it is... I think Sherry might be the most dexterous. Well, fine. Sherry is as dexterous as my character. But that on level 5 versus level 7. So, Sherry has a talent there. Like, if we ever need to untie a really difficult knot, I know who I'm going to ask. So... and let's throw the orb that way. Yeah, Sherry's... It feels like Sherry has been underestimated her whole life. She is just a mouse, but she's a very talented mouse. I mean, she can talk. So... I'd say that's already more than most mice can do. Or maybe mice just don't want to talk to me specifically. Oh. Thank you for the sub. Hope you're having a good day. But yeah, 7-month sub, that's quite a long time already. Time keeps flying by, it's already like almost the end of February. Like next week is going to be the last week of February. It feels like February's only just started, but again, it's been like a busy month for me, so it kind of always just flies by when I'm busy. But it's so nice to actually be able to enjoy, like, all the months of the year and not have certain months be exam season. Because, for example, January used to always be a very, very busy exam month for me. So, yeah, stuff like that. It's just kind of neat to not have to, like, structure your entire year based on when exam season is. So. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's like right at the end of March, isn't it? So, end of March, start of April almost. So. But yeah, it's quite soon. I've actually, like, I saw flower buds. They weren't in bloom yet, but spring is on its way. So I'm excited for that because, well, it's been enough winter, in my opinion. So I feel like I've had plenty of winter this year, thanks. Especially with like first getting COVID and now having a fairly annoying cold. Like, enough cold season already. So, but anyway, I think that's going to be it for today because, as I was saying, I do still have a cold and my cough has been acting up quite a bit today. And I don't want to make it worse because I do still want to be able to stream tomorrow. Hopefully next week I'll be fully back to normal and be able to do longer streams again. But yeah, for now I do kind of need to rest a bit more and, you know, take care of my health and do all that stuff. So I'll go be responsible. So let's see who we're going to raid today. Let's see. Who haven't we raided in a bit? Well, I think it's actually been a minute since we've raided Kim. Who is apparently playing Earthbound? I'm not familiar with it. Anyway, willing to learn about it. So, yeah, other than that, thanks for watching today. If you want to find out about, like, my weekly schedules and stuff, you can follow me on Twitter, Mastodon. I'm also on Blue Sky. So, you can find those there. Next Monday, or no, not Monday, Tuesday. Next Tuesday, I'll be starting Duke Nukem 1. So, I've never played any Duke Nukem game other than Duke Nukem Forever, which, you know, a slight difference between those two. So, looking forward to starting that one. And anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow with more Daggerfall. Bye!